In a world teeming with creatures of all shapes and sizes, some animals have stepped out of nature's wildest dreams to claim their spot among the truly strange. From deep-sea dwellers with mesmerizing glows to landlubbers with peculiar habits, get ready to be amazed by the 20 strangest animals that defy the ordinary. This medium-toothed whale has a largitusk from a protruding canine tooth and is found in the Arctic, has been valued for over 1,000 years by the Inuit people for its meat and ivory. Narwhals, however, are especially vulnerable to climate change. Narwhal tusks are a sensory organ with millions of nerve endings. It is thought that the rubbing together of tusks is thought to be a way to communicate information, and discoveries also indicate that narwhals use their tusks for feeding. Newborn narwhal are speckled blue-gray, teens are blue-black, adults are speckled gray, and old narwhal are almost all white. The Venezuelan poodle moth is a mysterious and fluffy insect that's only been found once and was not sampled. This moth was discovered in 2009 in Venezuela and is said to resemble a poodle. That is, if poodles had huge wings and feathers instead of ears. Dumbo Octopus is an umbrella octopus found all around the world. Its name comes from Disney's Dumbo because of the creature's ears bearing similarity to the movie's title character. Dumbo octopuses live at depths of around 13,000 feet below the surface. Irrawaddy dolphin is an oceanic dolphin found in the Bay of Bengal and Southeast Asia. Its most notable feature is a round head with no distinct beak. Irrawaddy dolphins are euryhaline, which means that they can survive in a wide range of salinities. They live in areas where low saline freshwater meets high saline ocean water. Found on the Galapagos Islands, this fish is actually a pretty bad swimmer and uses its pectoral fins to walk on the bottom of the ocean. This bright blue fish can be found in shallow water in the tropical and subtropical parts of the Western Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. They spend 80% of their time searching for food and eat small organisms found in the sand and algae that they scrape off rocks. Fossa is a cat-like mammal that lives in Madagascar. Its classification has been controversial because physically it resembles a cat, while other traits suggest relation to viverids. Genetic research has shown that they are actually their own separate species. Found in central China, the tufted deer is a small species of deer characterized by a prominent tuft of black hair on its forehead and fang-like canines for the males. It is a timid, mainly solitary creature that sometimes lives in pairs and enjoys living in areas with good cover. Irrawaddy is a venomous viper from Central Africa. For their extremely keeled dorsal scales, they are often called drew-scaled bush viper and spiny bush viper. Skedo Plains are sea cucumbers that live on deep ocean bottoms, specifically on the abyssal plain in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Ocean, typically at depths of over 1,000 meters. They are deposit feeders and obtain food by extracting organic particles from deep-sea mud. Satanic leaf-tailed gecko is a species of gecko that is found on the island of Madagascar. Their tail is flattened and appears to look like a leaf, helping the animal blend in within the environment. Found in central Argentina, they have small eyes, silky yellowish-white fur, and a flexible dorsal shell that is solely attached to its body by a thin dorsal membrane. This thin, flexible shell isn't primarily for protection, but for temperature regulation. It contains blood vessels that empty or fill to control the animal's body temperature and give it its rosy hue. The armadillo has relatively large feet, with outsized front claws that are ideal for burrowing. Maned wolf is the largest canid found in South America. It bears a striking resemblance to foxes, but is neither a fox nor a wolf. The maned wolf participates in symbiotic relationships with other species and is shy around humans. The blobfish is a deep-sea fish that inhabits the deep waters off the coasts of mainland Australia and Tasmania. The body of the blobfish is primarily a gelatinous mass with a density slightly less than water, and this allows it to float above the sea floor without expending energy on swimming. They only appear droopy when taken out of the sea, when pressure changes drastically. Native to the Americas, the golden tortoise beetle is a species of beetle that varies in color from reddish-brown with black spots through gold, and often metallic, earning it the nickname goldbug. It tends to switch color in different conditions, such as during mating, and during times of disturbance, such as when it is touched by a researcher. Seapen is a colonial animal with multiple polyps that root itself in sandy or muddy substrate. They mainly catch plankton. When touched, some seapens emit a bright greenish light. When disturbed, a seapen forces water out of the colony, making it possible for the seapen to retreat into its bulbous foot. Kiwa hirsuta. Irrawaddy crab is a crustacean notable for the quantity of silky blonde seta covering its thoracic legs, including claws. It lacks pigment and has reduced eyes, which is why it's thought to be blind. Irrawaddy crabs pose no known danger to people. Because of their remote and extreme habitats, they will never be seen by people except in a deep-sea submarine. Native to Colombia, the long-wattled umbrella bird is a frugivorous bird. The male is distinguished by a large throat wattle of feathers, while females and juveniles have no or a much smaller wattle. A male long-wattled umbrella bird stretches out his wattle, which he uses to impress mates. This one is the largest of the existing isopods. They're a good example of deep-sea gigantism, as they are far larger than the typical isopods that are up to 5 centimeters. They are known to feed on fish, crab, shrimp, squid, sponges, and whale carcasses that fall to the seafloor as a whale falls. Canters' giant softshell turtle is a freshwater turtle that lives in Southeast Asia. It is relatively unstudied and considered endangered species. The turtle has a broad head and small eyes close to the tip of its snout and spends most of the time buried and motionless, resurfacing only twice a day to breathe.